Okay.
On to the
What
final
comes
group.
after? Yeah. What comes after E? F. F is for
For
final.
final, yeah.
And it's a group that features Portugal, Turkey, Georgia, as well as Czechia. Portugal, the only team in this group in the top 35 in the FIFA rankings. Whereas, for example, Group D, for instance, is filled with nations, each and every one of them are 28th or better. It's been a generous draw for Portugal, not only in terms of group, but in terms of potential path going deep in this tournament, not playing a group winner potentially all the way to the semifinal. That's the carrot that's being dangled for the group winner in Group F. What about the plays? Is there any play to make based on the markets in Group F?
Well, I didn't have any down, but I've just seen that Georgia, their point line is at plus 113 for under 1.5. And I'm going to back that. I'm going to have a play on that. I honestly think that this is a group with an elite team, two good and potentially capable teams, and then one really bad team. And that really bad team just happens to be Georgia. Yeah, I rate Czechia. I think they're very, very dangerous. They could be a team that cause an upset if they get through. Very well organised. And I think Turkey, they're going under the radar a bit of this tournament. Last tournament, if you remember, they were everyone's dark horses. Everyone was sweet on Turkey, thinking they could do something, and they absolutely laid an egg. I think they are much better. They've got more attacking talent to call upon, young attacking talent as well. They've got a lovely bit of balance in midfield as well now. With the Benfica midfielder, I forget his name, but he's been playing very well this season. And yet, Portugal, we've talked about them enough in the way in which we think they're going to win the whole thing. So just taking Georgia on, I think, is the way to go. And I mentioned before when we were talking about Scotland that they were ranked as the 23rd out of 24 teams to qualify. They were the second worst in terms of expected goal difference per game. And the worst was, in fact, Georgia. They were the worst team to actually qualify for the tournament based on the underlying data. Just really poor, struggled to create chances, conceded an absolute ton against the likes of Spain, Scotland, Norway. They are the worst defensive team to qualify for the tournament based on the expected goals data in qualifying. So I've no reason to think why that won't continue. I mean, like I said, I do think both Czechia and Turkey have got the capability of being a little bit dangerous if they get past this round, and I just don't see the same with Georgia. So I think that they could well end up with 3 defeats out of 3. And if they do happen to take a point, that's fine, because we're on under 1.5.
I might go the other way. This might be a head-to-head here.
Really?
Because they're the only debutantes in this tournament, again, at home, dealing with geopolitical strife. I think over 1.5. I might stay away from that. How about to qualify? Yes, at plus 160, because I don't rate this group like at all. I don't trust Turkey. They won their qualifying group. They fired a very good manager, Stefan Kuntz. Montella's taken over, and what have they done? March friendlies, a 1-0 loss away at Hungary, lost to Austria 6-1. I mean, I just question how good this team. I mean, with players like Arda Güler, Kenan Yildiz, have some really intriguing young players coming through, but the old guard does nothing for me. And I prefer the play under 3.5 points in this group for Turkey, under at plus 140. That is a big number for a team for me that I'm not convinced. I agree. I think Czechia is better than Turkey. Can Georgia come away with a famous win here? At plus 160, it's not something I'd shy away from. It's not my favorite play, but I'm considering. I have it down to consider. So in terms of qualifying, Georgia played in a pool with Spain, Scotland, Norway. That's not the easiest group necessarily here. And then they played some very difficult games just in terms of the Nations League as well. Kvaradona, they actually have a star player that I think they could really step up and do something this tournament. I'm considering it, Jake, not my favorite play on the board, but I'm considering at plus 160, Georgia might be a play that I'll consider making. So
I'd save you money. Invest it in the next rounds. Just save your money because they are not going to do anything at this tournament.
I'd like to make a play on Czechia, but I just the numbers in the markets just
Yeah.
aren't there for me.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I had a look
maybe
at
it comes from
Portugal.
more of a place of a fade on Turkey rather than being pro Georgia. But if there's going to be something wacky and wild to happen in the group stage, I think it's everything below Portugal in this group. It's up for grabs.
Yeah, I think the only other way I'd play it is Portugal and Czechia to a dual forecast. You're getting nearly plus 200 for that. Because like you, I think Czechia are a better team than Turkey. I think the fact that they're just more well organised, they're more trustworthy, aren't they? Which is what you want from a team in the group stage when you're prognosticating. You want something you can trust, and we know that Czechia are going to play a very defensive-minded-ish kind of approach. They're going to be difficult to beat. They've got some good players in the heart of the midfield and defence, and then they're just going to try and score once, maybe twice if they need to, mainly from set pieces. So I definitely would lean towards a bigger price play of Portugal and Czechia as a dual forecast.